Yo, ISSA. High schoolboy football look this season. People, them ready, you know. Alright then, pick up, manning cup. Oliver, your shield, you make we link up. We watch the Champions Cup, Ben Francis, WATA Cup. Which team are win the championship this season? Yo, ISSA. Wonder if a school I go finish the league and beat now. Which youth I go collect the golden boot and be the favorite for the people?
All right, well, very soon I'll know this song word for word. Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. We're still talking football, now to the schoolboy level in Jamaica. Match day 2 of the quarterfinal round in the ISSA Digicel Manning Cup saved up a plethora of upset results on Tuesday. Let's take a look. All right, so Jamaica College at the top of Zone A on 2 points. Kingston College also having on 4 points. Kingston College having played 2 matches on 3 points. Tivoli Gardens on 3 points. All right, well, 2022 Walker Cup champions Tivoli Gardens put a huge dent into Mona High's title defense, beating them by 3 goals to 1. Hydel High handed St. Catherine High their first defeat of the season, beating them 2-0. In the first of a live SportsMax TV doubleheader at the Stadium East Field, Campion College ambushed the Eagles of Excelsior High 2-0, while in the feature game, the high-flying Kingston College got humbled by Jamaica College. We have those highlights.
These highlights are brought to you by KFC, it's finger licking good, and WATA, land of good and water.
Here over Kingston College. Full-time highlights. Jamaica College through Dante Logan, serving notice. And Malik Williams had to make more than one important save. Again, Jamari Howell cutting it across, and Nashada Gibbs there on hand, forcing another save. Jamoy Dennis dancing and releasing the shot, and to dive to his right, Malik Williams. 3 saves in quick succession, and it's really been an impressive performance from Jamaica College. Lyle advanced and won the penalty after a handball. And Nashado Gibbs, the former Kingston College player, stepped up and buried the penalty with ease. Had a few words for the spectators on hand. Kingston College tried to spark something. Sharif Ricketts had a pop that went across the face of goal. Demain Smith's cross, and Deshaun Byfield played it onto the bar. But Nashada Gibbs got an errant pass, delivered a lovely ball to Jamoy Dennis, who played as a center striker today. Good industry from Nashada Gibbs. And what a finish. No save from Malik Williams. That was 2-0. Jamoy Dennis. Only 2 minutes later. First to the draw. It was like a shootout, I tell you. The defense caught napping. And Jamoy Dennis had the finish. Fine finish from Jamoy Dennis. And he really had an impressive game, the man of the match. Dylan John had this moment of brilliance, but for the crossbar, he would have been on the score sheet as well. Here's another shot from Ricketts. Tested Twain Lynch. He was equal to the task. Here's another look at it. Perhaps the best chance, or more clear-cut chance, Kingston College had. Jamaica College, second of action now. Turning inside, getting the shot off was Anthony Campbell. Ruled off, high boot, as illustrated there by referee Alexis Perry. Second yellow card for Don Green, and that sent him off he'll miss the next game against Mona. That's a telling loss. Save there made by Malik Williams. One of many that he had to make.
Those highlights are brought to you by KFC, it's finger licking good, and WATA, land of good and water.
All right, let's take a look now on how the points table are looking for both the zones, set up with one round of matches to play. So this is what Zone A looks like. We have Jamaica College on 4 points at the top. They've played 2 matches and they've won 1 so far. Kingston College are very similar, played 2 matches. They've won 1 and they have a total of 3 points. Tivoli Gardens in 3rd position, same number of points as Kingston College, 3. Mona High at the bottom of Zone A. They've played 2 matches. They have not won any of their matches so far. Then we move across to Zone B. Hydel High at the top of this zone on 4 points. St. Catherine and Campion College both have 3 points. Excelsior High at the bottom of Zone B, 1 point. All right, well, Ligia Williams, he didn't leave us. He's still here in studio. Liz, what was the most shocking of all those results for you? Because a lot of unexpected things happened. Which shocked you?
I would say out of the 4 results, the most shocking one for me would be probably Tivoli beating the defending champions Mona.
Not KC, JC?
No, that wasn't shocking to me at all, actually, because, you know, people like to highlight when I get things wrong. But how I am, I'm a very humble guy. I don't boast when I get things right. That's why people don't notice that I'm right most of the time. So I've been on record saying for probably 2 years now, I think Davian Ferguson is the best coach on the island. I'm sure you guys remember when I said that, right? I was talking about Mount Pleasant at the time, but the thing that Coach Ferguson gives you is a tactical advantage. Now, I've done 2 Kingston College matches this season. They beat Hydel 6-1. They beat Tivoli 5-0. Now, it's not often you leave fixtures like that and you just don't feel convinced by a performance.
Even though the scoreline was so big.
Exactly. I know that they had attackers, but their top goal scorer, for example, Byfield, very good goal scorer, but the goals always seem like a right place, right time kind of thing.
Yeah.
KC have a very clear tactical idea, and they have good players, but when you're coming up against the very best in the competition and some of the best coaches in Jamaica, I think that a tactical advantage will always tell. And that's exactly what happened yesterday, actually. Because in the game against Jamaica College, Kingston College, I want to run this down quickly. Kingston College usually build up their play, which they're heavily reliant on. The goalkeeper isn't involved, and they use a single pivot. Right. So they build up with 3 defenders, a single pivot, which is their number 6, their defensive midfielder. The right back pushes up, so it's the 2 centre-backs and the left back. Everyone knows this. They came into the game, no team has exploited that so far. Jamaica College, they play a 4-2-3-1, so immediately I knew that Jamaica College's attacking midfielder against Kingston College's holding midfielder would be the matchup.
Yeah.
What Coach Ferguson did was take out his 2 strikers that he usually plays in Gio Taylor or Amarley King, plays one of his wingers there who is not necessarily going to hold the top of the line all the time. Yes. He's going to drop off sometime, which is going to drag a defender with him. Place his attacking midfielder on the day, which was Jamon Lyle, on the defensive midfielder, so he couldn't receive the ball, and his wingers were always running in behind.
Yes.
All the goals came from those scenarios. Lyle making a run in behind off the back of Duan Green, who would be Kingston College's holding midfielder, exploited that. And then when Kingston College had the ball, they could not get forward because their 3 defenders had no options. They usually play it directly to their defensive midfielder. He was man-marked out of the game. The Kingston College 2 central midfielders, they weren't dropping, so there was no overload for any midfielder to receive the ball. And then their right back, who would occasionally come into midfield, wasn't doing that either because he needed to support the right winger in this team, Matrim Martin, the Guyanese player.
Right.
So because of all of those factors, JC not only matched up KC and bettered them physically, tactically was also a mismatch. So, and I knew that this was coming because I said I wasn't convinced by Kingston College at all. So all of this big circular thing came to pass, and Jamaica College, rightfully so, dominated Kingston College.
Yeah, but you've not painted a good picture here of the KC coach, Vassal Reynolds, who has been a solid coach both at the schoolboy level, and he has had, you know, Premier League experiences as well.
He's not only a solid coach, he's a good coach.
Yes.
He's a very good coach, Vassar Reynolds. But
yes,
how I think about, the reason why I say he's a very good coach, how I think about coaching, you know, people who just say, you know, coaches that win trophies, those are the best coaches.
Yeah.
My idea of a good coach is if you're able to transmit your idea, your philosophy onto a team and they execute it, then that's what makes you a good coach for me.
Yeah.
Not just straight results.
Exactly, and Vassar Reynolds for me executes, and you could see his tactical idea. I'm just saying that Jamaica College's tactical idea and their coaching staff's tactical ideas came to pass, and they usually come to pass.
Right.
So I think that he was just outclassed on the day, and it happens to everyone, really.
Yeah, well, with the short time that we have left, Lish, you said that the Mona game shocked you the most, and maybe it's because Mona are the defending Manning Cup champions. Yeah. What has affected them this season? Why are they at the bottom of their zone?
I don't know what to tell you, because I didn't watch that Mona game, the second game against Tivoli, so I'm not sure. But that's why it was so shocking to me, because I watched the JC game so I could see it play out. I watched the Campion game so I could see that play out. I could see why Campion got the better of Excelsior. Campion all the way, by the way. But I could see why all of these things happened. I'm not sure what could have happened in that Mona game.
I guess part of the surprise of that result too, Lish, was the fact that Tivoli were beaten 5-0 by Kingston College just a few days before that.
Kingston, Tivoli High were missing their top goal scorer, Francis.
For that KC match.
For that KC match, and their captain.
Okay.
So, as I said, that's why I was never too convinced by Kingston College when they were beating these teams convincingly.
Right. Well, we're going to have to move on now. We're going to turn our attention to the DaCosta Cup with 3 matches on today. Our team was at Glenmuir for the Gavi Maceo versus Monroe College clash. Here's Dwight Jeremiah with the highlights.
These highlights are brought to you by KFC, It's Finger Licking Good, and WATA, Land of Good and WATA.
Well, full match highlights. And like we said, Gavi, they showed their intent from early and was always looking to pierce this blue defense. And they were given warning shots early. This, our player of the game, Swaby, driving early in this contest, putting the player down on his backside. At that time it was winded and denied at the near post. Again, it was Swaby, the main protagonist. Williams held on, and who he would like to have done something like that on the third goal, which we'll see come up later. Garvey continued to press, and again Swaby quick to react to a loose ball. He was lively. In this wet, gloomy day, he was beaming. And Monroe, one of their rear attacks, cutting inside here, was Binns and let fly, but always curling away. Probably their best moment of the first half. Should have at least hit the target. And here come another attack from Garvey. On that occasion it was McGrath. Didn't get the shot connection right. He did put in a shift, had to be substituted later as his legs gave way. Lovely ball into that half space. Mundle on the outside. And that was probably the straw for McGrath, but really not, because he committed a foul later when he was substituted. But that should have been the opening goal. But Garvey certainly had more in them. Williams was beginning to show that his concentration was going after a ball that was well wide. Again, it would have been Swaby, weak shot, but you felt had Williams followed through with Harry Williams, then there would have been a chance. Mundle there, firing wide, when he should have at least gone across goal. Swaby, lovely run again. And as he got into the box, Mundle should have given Swaby an assist. It wasn't his fault that he didn't get that. And you hear how many times I've called the name Swaby, and that's why he's the player of the game. But then O'Brien took over, and a weakened defense. He just ran through the heart of it. Lovely run, sidestepping 3 defenders before slotting calmly home. That's 1, that's 2, away. And as the third came, he didn't wait on him. He just slotted in the far corner. Williams out of his reach, and we can watch this run again and again, and that is made even more brilliant on the surface. This surface where the ball isn't flowing nicely across it. That is telling you how much of a high quality run that was from O'Brien. And Garvey looking to make this one safe from back to front. One punt over the top, and it was Swaby on this one, cutting back and playing inside there to Mundle, who then played it across, and that finish from White, the substitute, was exquisite, calm, composed, and in the end had more precision than power. But Swaby to Mundle and White, yeah, you could give the assist, a part of the assist there to Swaby, because it was his run and calmness to pick out Mundle and made it easy for White. Yeah, not saying it was that easy, but he used the defender as a shield, and Williams was left frustrated. The third goal, he had no one to blame but himself, Williams. 90 plus, Swaby again with starting this one, playing that through to Wilton Williams, and Williams in goal. Jason from Monroe will want to cover his face in the mud, because that's a howler if there was one. And the substitute who came onto the park, McKees Jones, made it extra safe. Lovely flick up in the air there from Swaby to Wilton Williams. And then I would want to give that assist to Jason Williams in goal for Monroe. But I tell you what, Garvey, they won't mind, because they walk away with 3 goals, 3 points, 4 now in the zone, in this group, and flying high. 14 shots on for Garvey Masia, 6 on target, 5 for Monroe, and surprisingly, 94 minutes, not a shot on target. 5 fouls committed by Garvey, 4 for Monroe, and just 1 yellow card for Monroe and 3 for Garvey. 56% of the possession as Garvey. They really turned the tide in the second half.
Those highlights are brought to you by KFC, it's finger licking good, and WATA, land of good and water.
All right, these are the results from today's Central High 1-0 draw against Ocho of Cy Froome Technical. They lost to Stets, and Garvey Maceo 3 goals in that win against Monroe College. All right, well, in the lone game that was played on Tuesday, Glenmuir beat McGrath High 4-1. These are the... Do we have the DaCosta Cup results? All of them? No? All right. Well, Lish, you're here with us today, so it's perfect that we get your input on what's taking place from today's results. So, were you shocked by any of today's results, seeing that yesterday we had a lot of upsets?
Just a little bit with the Stets Froome game. Okay. But generally, I wouldn't say I was too shocked. I think Garvey Maceo are the superior team to Monroe, and Central and Ochi. I knew Ochi was going to give Central a tough game, so not too shocked. But I think for the DaCosta Cup, it's not quite as exciting for me as the Manning Cup, because I have a pretty clear idea who the best team is in that competition.
Who is that team?
And that's Glenmuir?
Yeah, that's definitely Glenmuir. As I said, I think they're going to win it, and they have. Yeah. I actually think they have the possibility to triple crown this year, winning the DaCosta Cup, Champions Cup, and the Oliver Shield.
Why have been forced to come from behind in their last 2 wins, though? Because that 4-1 victory over...
it was a come from behind.
Was a come from behind victory yesterday.
I'm not quite sure. Maybe they're just not starting games quickly enough. Yes. A little bit of complacency, but just based on what I've seen, their firepower, how strong they are defensively as well, although they've been conceding goals, I think they'll be perfectly fine.
Okay.
All right, he said it. They'll be perfectly fine. Well, break time, and then I'll be back with Zone Update 2.
ISSA, schoolboy football, run come, look one, look all. Which team are the best and I go better than the rest, and if I your team beat your chest. ISSA, schoolboy football, a team could rise and a team could fall, but they never will know until the whistle blows, so run come enjoy the show. ISSA, schoolboy football, run come, look one, look all. Which team are the best and I go better than the rest, and if I your team beat your chest. ISSA,